A bicycle sharing system, or bike share scheme, is a service in which bicycles are made available for shared use to individuals on a very short-term basis for a price. Nowadays, people download apps of different bike sharing operators. After entering their payment information, they can find corresponding bikes and unlock the bikes by scanning QR codes. When the user returns the bike, they can lock the bike and the app will stop charging money. For many systems, smartphone mapping apps show nearby stations with available bikes and open docks. People use bike sharing for various reasons. Private bike owners often have concerns about theft or vandalism, parking or storage and maintenance. Public bike sharing system can solve the above problems. Currently, there are 6 bike sharing operators, and the most popular ones are Gobi Bike, O-Bike, and OVO. Although bike sharing is very convenient, it does bring about a lot of problems. For example, the problem of messy parking. This greatly affects other road users. In this project, we will look into different problems and provide sensible solutions.
In Hong Kong, there are little facilities set up for the use of sharing bikes. There's no separate bicycle lanes to separate cyclists from cars on the road, and this is rather dangerous. Also, cycling tracks can only be found in the new territories, and not so much in Kowloon or on Hong Kong Island. Compared to other cities, for example in Shanghai, cycling is very popular among locals and tourists, because the city has track along Saibo Street, which can only be used by cyclists and motorbike users. It is understood that space and previous urban planning will be limitations to the problem, especially in busy areas like Mong Kok and Central. The roads there are designed for public transport, vans and cars, and cyclists will have to share the road with them. However, if a lot of cyclists took the road as well in these downtown areas, this would exacerbate traffic congestion and messy parking, especially during rush hours. It is common to see a lot of bicycles parked illegally in public spaces, causing congestion in the pedestrian road in Hong Kong.
Apart from infrastructure planning, there are currently inadequate regulations by the Hong Kong government as well, and this leads to 2 problems. The first problem is unregulated parking. There are reports of many bikes left randomly in public car park spaces or even non-parking lots. Some bikes are parked upside down or left poorly in public area. They are similarly abandoned and they have occupied spaces for extensive periods. Even if the government improved infrastructure planning, there are currently no stringent parking rules. According to Transport and Housing Bureau, existing rules state that bicycles are not allowed to be parked on public roads for more than 24 hours. Offenders will face penalties of up to 2,000 Hong Kong dollars in fines and may have their bikes confiscated if caught during periodic clearance operations. According to the founder of bike-sharing operator Hoba Bike, Joseph said that the number of parking spaces had been insufficient. He also said that his company had taken extra efforts to ensure its existing 500 bikes were not parked in inappropriate places. Whenever their staff identified bikes parked in improper spots, they moved them back to legal parking spaces. There are 200 bikes requiring such relocation every day. The second problem is damaged bikes. Some bikes are found with damaged pedals, brakes, backlights, and hand grips. Some of them are even repainted. These sharing bikes are badly maintained and there are no certification of roadworthiness. There are no laws regulating or addressing the issue of anonymous customers. The above illegal acts and uncivilized behavior are not recorded, and more regulations should be reinforced.
I should admit that bike sharing is very convenient and cost-effective in some way. However, there is never a free lunch. Bike sharing thus triggers multiple concerns, especially safety ones in my point of view. some of the safety concerns are resulted from the insufficiency of the ancillary facilities for the sharing bikes. For instance, the limited number for the proper bike parking places and the cycling tracks leads to the phenomenon that the sharing bikes are parking everywhere, even on the pedestrians' roads or aisles. Or the case that the bikes and the pedestrians are sharing the same narrow road, which greatly increases the chance for accident to happen, threatening the safety on roads. The quality of the sharing bike is variable. Some of them may be functioning well with fair quality, but some of them may be malfunctioning in some certain parts without any maintenance or even discovery. This fall of the bike may be fatal. Let's imagine you're riding down the slope with a problematic brake system. Periodic inspection for each single sharing bike has been difficult and costly due to the lack of a proper and systematic management and regulation. So this becomes a critical problem for the bike sharing industry. Another problem is that the convenient features of the sharing bike would attract some amateur riders or new riders who tend to lack the knowledge, skills and gears for a safe bike journey, while the service provider of the sharing bike did not provide appropriate guidelines for users but only literally provide the service instead. For example, they may not aware where should or should not be the place for their ride to take place. There have been news that some sharing bike users were riding on pedestrian roads or even highways and ultimately get hurt. Also, the users may not be aware of the regulation or the proper safety precaution for cycling. They may not know much about the traffic rules nor the necessity for the equipment like helmet or signaling light. All of these issues would be threatening the safety for all the road users, including the sharing bike rider himself. All the problems in infrastructure, regulation, and safety could be solved. Bike sharing may be a suitable transportation for the new generation, but this could not be done without the collaboration of all stakeholders, including the service provider, the government, and the general public. I'm sincerely looking forward to the future development of the bike sharing.
Regarding to the problem created by the shared bike, we come up with several solutions to resolve the situation in Hong Kong. The first solution is using the idea of ECO bike. It was first launched in Japan in 2013, which is an automated mechanical underground parking lot. Today, there are over 50 stations in Japan and it is a global solution. The system is completely controlled, automated, and safe to use. Moreover, the system is user-friendly and the average storage process is only 13 seconds, which is ideal for a fast-paced city like Hong Kong. Hong Kong can set up some ECO cycle stations for the bike user to store the shared bike to resolve the problem of messy parking situation. The second solution is setting up the bike parking zone to centralize the bike to solve the messy parking problems. The easiest way is to transform 1 in 10 roadside car parks into a bike parking zone. For the user, the government should set up bicycle laws to monitor the user. For example, users should cycle on the cycle tracks and wear helmets on roads. Lastly, the government can introduce promotion video about the biking guidelines and biking safety.
陪警惕，無論踩單車抑或揸車，使用道路嘅權利係一樣嘅。無論你係邊個，踩單車安全先係第一。